master's degree from Boston University in Human Resource Development, and then he got a PhD from Georgia State University in Educational Psychology. In 2002, ironically, and I started almost the same time at Argosy. In 2002, he started teaching various courses in research and statistics at Argosy. Some of those were actually in our programs. And in 2007, he was appointed as the Vice President for Academic Affairs at the Atlanta campus. He served in that capacity until the school closed in March of 2019. On several occasions, he served in a dual role as the Atlanta MPAA and the interim campus president. And then for almost 2 years, he was the Chief Academic Officer of the Northern Virginia campus, while also working the same capacity for us in the Atlanta campus. Dr. Bradfield's past activities are numerous. He has had many leadership roles over the years. He has traveled to many countries over the years and worked with many people of different cultural backgrounds. In addition to that, he is an ordained minister. He describes himself as a deeply spiritual person and has had many leadership roles in church work and ministry organizations. He is happily married and lives in the Atlanta area with his wife, Marielle. And they have a total of 6 children and 8 grandchildren and counting, according to how he describes himself. On a personal note, I will say that I have known him for almost 20 years, and that Dr. Bradfield is one of the most committed, honest, and humble leaders and individuals with whom I have ever worked. His integrity over all the time that I've known him has been impeccable. In our final weeks at Argosy Atlanta, when the writing was on the wall that we would most likely be closing, Dr. Bradfield maintained open communication and transparency with the faculty, the staff, and the students, and he provided great support for everyone around him. Humble until the end, when I told him in our final week that he had truly been one of the best leaders and supervisors I had ever had the pleasure to work with, he responded with, "Well, you know, they teach you at Kmart." He is my former boss and mentor, and I am proud to call him a friend. Please welcome Dr. Bradfield.
You know, it's a dangerous thing to put me up here because I'm an ordained minister, in addition to the fact that we are in a church facility. So I might take a little religious liberty, if that doesn't bother anybody. I'll try not to step on anybody's toes too hard, anyway. Well, distinguished faculty, professional colleagues, family, friends, and honored graduates, it is an honor to be here today with you. It truly is an honor for me to stand here before you. And I'm just blown away by the sponsorships and the hard work that was done. I know recognition has been given, and there's some things in your program to depict that. But I am so grateful to everyone who pitched in to make this event possible. Now, I know sitting out there are a lot of family members who are here, and I know that we've had our challenges at Argosy. I know you're well aware of that, but I know you've had some challenges too in supporting and allowing these graduates sitting here today to do what they did. And there's no doubt that you family members also pull extra duty during their season of study. And some of you probably were asking, well, I thought you were going to be finished sooner. I thought you told me it was going to be, only 1 more year. But I want to commend you all and thank you all from your side of the house for your patience, your tolerance, and your support. And I would also like to say to our graduates, you hung in there. You hung in there with us. You stayed with it. And I'm very proud of this group because isn't this the group that told me that you had no life during your whole final study? Is that right? No? Oh, okay. Well, maybe I got the wrong group. So maybe we ought to check this out. How many of you had babysitting problems? Anybody have babysitting problems? Okay. All right. Not too many. Anybody have challenges with pet sitting? Haven't had problems with pets? How many hospital visits did anybody do? Okay, we always got several things now. Anybody have any problems with your spouse? Raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. And for goodness sake, don't turn around and look. Nobody raise your hand, guys. Nobody raise your hand. Smooth sailing all the way. Well, you know, it's also a little bit, I feel a little vulnerable here today. It's a little touchy to be a keynote speaker after what happened in Morehouse when Robert Smith paid off all those loans. A little nervous. Don't get any ideas. I am unemployed. You know, in talking with graduates, that there are some things that only you understand if you've been through this. I remember when I received my doctorate, my mother, who's now 91 and alive, she kept saying, I want to read your dissertation, I can't wait to read it. And those were the days when we had to get it bound, right? So I got it bound. She was at the house one day, I said, Mother, here it is. And she went, oh, good. And she opened it up, kind of just flipped it open to one of the pages, started looking at it, kind of, her eyes blazed open. And then she just kind of flipped the page and said, okay, thank you. I said, oh no, you're going to read this thing. But do you remember some of the things you went through? Do you remember when all of your household services services were like extensions of your head? Every hard surface had something on it. Do you remember your laptop and your books were basically tethered to your body like another appendage? Yeah? Weekends were not filled with fun and excitement. They were like shredded piles of notes and papers. And the panic that set in when you decided to schedule something that did not involve school. Oh my gosh, I'm missing something. And I remember, I've heard it said before, I've had a good week, Dr. Bradfield, this week, because I only have one 20-page paper to write. It's increasingly difficult to have a conversation with your friends and socialize because you find yourself critically thinking about what they're saying and wanting to disagree. And they go, what's wrong with you, man? What's got into you? Well, anyway, all those days are over, sort of. And they're just, like I said, there are a few things a graduate student can understand, but today there's something on my mind that applies to every one of us here, including yours truly. And I'd like to talk about that. It has to do with something we all have been through many times. Some of us more difficult than others. It has to do with dealing with the difficult circumstances in life. Like, for example, when a major university closes its doors suddenly, right? That's an example. But there are other things. It could be anything. It could be a serious relational conflict. It could be the loss of a job, the death of a loved one. And sometimes just outright mistreatment and if somebody offended you, just a person who did the wrong thing. Well, I won't even mention the normal stages of grief and hurt, because you guys know all that, but somewhere in that process, as we work through things that are difficult in our lives, we have a series of choices to make, and it all comes down to this. Life is about overcoming, regrouping, and moving forward, or resignation, retreat, and getting stuck. I know this is not a new idea for most of you, but I'm confirming something you already know, and I'm reaffirming to myself and everyone here today that good can come out of bad. Overcoming means genuinely working through life's issues, whether they be petty or monstrous, adjusting our attitudes and moving forward into the future with hope and faith. Now, there's a story in Exodus chapter 15. I warned you, okay? Here I go. There was a day after the experience of Moses leading the Israelites through the Red Sea. They were 3 days without water. Now, if they had no water, which it implies, by the 3rd day, you are very thirsty. And by the 4th day or 5th day, you start to shut down. So the Israelites, by some estimates, some scholars estimate there might have been 1 million of them. It says they began to complain, but guess who they complained about? Moses. It wasn't the circumstance, it was him. And like a good client would do, they blamed someone else for their woes. And they came across this pool of water, and they thought, oh man, this is great, pool of water. When they tried to drink it, it was bitter. And eventually they called that place Mara, which means bitter in Hebrew, because the water was unfit to drink. So Moses did what a lot of good leaders do. He called out to the Lord. He said, Lord, what do I do? And somehow he was shown that if he got a piece of wood from a certain tree and threw it in the water, the wood would absorb the bitterness. And that's what he did, and they were able to drink the water. After that, they came to another place called Elam, where there were 12 springs of water and 7 palm trees. And they camped there for a while. As I've thought about this story, I relate it this way. There are a lot of things in life that are bitter, hard to swallow, very bitter to the taste. Some of these things, as I said earlier, are purely circumstantial. They just happen. And some are actually inflicted on us by other people. Either way, it's not easy, it's not hard to get stuck in blaming, bitterness. We can even die with bitterness, or we can regroup and overcome and find a way forward. What was once bitter, we can learn from and derive strength from. Now, depending on the severity of the problem, some things take longer for sure. If someone badmouths your hairdo, it may only take a day or two to work through. Unless, of course, you're one of those people that really are into hairdos. But there's some things that take a year or years or even generations to work through. When it became apparent that Argosy University was going to close every campus, I admit I had a very bitter taste at the time. I was angry. And to use a southern expression, I was flat dab mad. And you know flat dab, if you're not from the South, it means really, truly, honestly, over and above mad. It's flat dab. So why say all those words when you can say flat dab? I was mad. I was hurt. It wasn't, when I really got to the root of it, it wasn't so much I was hurt for me. I was more hurt for the students, like yourselves who were right at the end, and others of your colleagues who were a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months away from their degree completion. And I promise you that we did everything we could. We spoke every word, we wrote letters, we tried creative solutions, but it was out of our hands. And I'm still working through this myself. But it's one of those things that it can stay with you, it can eat you, it can haunt you, or we can learn from it and move on. Now, like most of you, this was not my first dance with a bitter experience. It's certainly not the worst experience I've gone through in my life. But I do have some work to do. And one of the ways I express myself spiritually is to pray. So I was like Moses. I called out to the Lord many times on this experience. I want you to know something else about it. I am not an advocate of forgive and forget. I don't believe that. My standard is forgive and remember. It is we weren't created to forget, not us humans. We were created with minds to remember things. And it's okay to remember, and the reason we remember is so that we can continue to learn from our experience, refer to it, put it forth as a historical fact, and talk about it to other people. Maybe to avoid some of the same problems again. Maybe learn from it and to teach others. So that we're not shackled by bitterness and pain. We also need to forgive. As long as the past remains painfully present with us, we will be far less effective in this life and in our careers. And the tough part about it is the true test of forgiveness is when we can sincerely say in our hearts that that other person, that other entity, the debt of an organization doesn't owe us anything. Because as long as there's a debt, an emotional debt, usually it's emotional, not financial, but there can be financial. But as long as there's a debt owed, the debt is not released. Conversely, if someone offends me, if someone perpetrates wrong against me, I will know that he or she has made things right when they demonstrate remorse, but I can't control it. But the beautiful thing about proactively forgiving and letting go is that it need not depend on the other person's remorse. The wrongdoer doesn't depend on that person's remorse. In this way, we can overcome the toxic effect of bitterness in our lives and purify our wells so that when others drink from our words, they find them sweet to the taste. Now, there is in research literature and in a lot of places, you can look at it on the internet, there's something called restorative justice. It's been around a long time. And it has to do with victims and offenders meeting face to face and talking and sharing from their each perspective how it felt, what was going on, and how it went down, and try to come to some understanding and heal. And this has been, and I don't have time to get into the details of it, but restorative justice has been extrapolated to include criminal cases, felonies and murders. In 2012, according to the Denver Post in Colorado, Raymond Jackson and a group of fellow teenagers were riding and shooting. And a bullet left Raymond Jackson's gun and penetrated the car where two children were sitting. One was 3 years old, one was 6. And the bullet killed the young child, Cassie, the 3-year-old. Later, he and his colleagues were caught, and they determined the bullet came from Raymond's gun, and he was sentenced to jail. He was 16 at the time, and by the time he was 33 years old, the mother of the child who was killed decided she wanted to talk with Raymond, and Raymond wanted to talk to her. Her name was Charlotte Evans, and she said, "I want to do this." And I'd like to read you what happened. Over the course of an intense morning, Raymond and Charlotte each recounted the crime from their individual points of view. Evans, the mother, talked about Cassie, the girl who was killed, and what he meant to the family. She felt her voice tremble as she talked about how she had reared her children. At times, Evans said, I let them feel my anger. And at times we discussed the divine. Does God have a plan here? How did our paths meet? She told him how long ago at his trial she forgave him, had seen straight through him, and knew that he was more than the sum of his ill-fated actions that night. And he asked me, why do you think God showed you who I really am and didn't show my mother or grandmother? They answered questions. They exchanged explanations. Evans about how she had found the strength to forgive. Johnson about everything that happened on the night that Cassie died, and about the better man he'd become in prison now that he was 33 years old. The younger brother who lived, was by now in his 20s, he said, I felt my anger abate, and I got the confirmation I wanted. That Johnson's remorse was authentic, and that he was doing something right with his life. Evans and Johnson resolved to continue their relationship, a process she told him would require time and patience. I'm not at peace, Evans said, the mother, with Johnson spending the rest of his life in prison. I'd like for him to receive another opportunity to come back into society and be functioning. I let him know that. I want to see his case be reconsidered. And she is stated she's willing to go to his hearing and testify with him. That is justice. That is forgiveness. That is moving forward. And it doesn't get any easier than that. Or any harder, I'm sorry. You know, after Moses and the Israelites left the bitter water that turned sweet, they came to Elim, where, as I said, there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there for a while. And you know, when we overcome negative things, like the story that I read, we often find ourselves in a new place of peace and satisfaction. Doesn't mean we're there, doesn't mean all the woes and evils of society have been rectified, but we have moved forward, and we have moved our generation forward. Instead of having to turn a bad situation into something good, we become the beneficiaries of something 12 times better. There are a lot of people, I think just about everybody in the world, who has had problems like this and could have, and some have, become embittered by what they've experienced and have no prospect for a bright future. But overcomers address their issues within themselves, at least. They regroup, they move forward into the future with hope and faith. That's where oases are found. And even in the midst of life's deserts, the oasis is there waiting. Don't ever think you're alone. You're the only one who's experienced something. So, counseling graduates of 2019 and business graduates, I want you to know that you guys have already overcome. You wouldn't be here today. You've already overcome a lot to be here. Some of you more than others. And I commend you for that. And I want to commend you to this message, that you'll have to do it again. There'll be many times in your life where you will again face difficulty, sometimes wrong we come to do. Sometimes it'll just be life that you upside the head. But you know how to do it. And here's the great thing. You're in a position, those of you in the counseling program are in the position, well, all of you really, where you can help others through this. You will be not only working through it yourself, you're going to lead others through these times. So my challenge to you and all of us is to keep moving forward with hope and faith. Let us continuously rid ourselves of everything that would limit our full potential. No doubt there will be new challenges, some of them very difficult. But let us never become stagnant pools of bitterness. Rather, we will become pools of sweet water to ourselves and others. Keep on overcoming. Let go of the pains of the past. Move forward into the future with hope and faith. Enjoy the oases. Stay well. And may God bless all. Thank you.